Hello, my loves. It's Lisa. I hope you're doing well today. So, our quickie for today is going to be on the topic of when the path forwards is foggy as hell. So, we've all been there where we feel that we're just not sure what the next step is, or we feel like we really cannot see very far ahead of us. Things are uncertain. And we maybe just need a little bit of validation. So, we are going to look at what is clouding your vision. What fear, belief, or emotion might be making the path forwards feel especially unclear at this time? What truth lies behind the fog, or maybe what clarity or deeper intuitive truth or knowing is trying to come through, but the noise is kind of drowning it out? What step you can take right now that is kind of like one small aligned action that will help you move forwards, even despite the uncertainty? And then support that you may not be seeing so that you know that you're not alone and there is guidance or help available to you, either through spirit, community, or your own resilience of your own soul. So I've pre-pulled a couple oracle cards here. I haven't looked at them yet. And I'm going to clarify them with the tarot. So we're just going to move through this little 4-card spread and see if we can get you some insight, okay? So what is currently clouding your vision? Let's see. Wow, okay. The curse. This card is heavily tied to ancestral wounding. Ancestral and generational wounding. That's quite a powerful energy though. Okay. Give me a second to really sit with that for just a moment. So this card refers to the limiting stories of your ancestors and karma from former lifetimes that in some ways preordains the events of our lives. It can be the source of negative patterns. It can show up in the body as disease, or even in the mind as disease. It can show up as a destructive force in your life, or a blockage in your life force, or your creative energy, or your clarity, really. And the curse is not a true curse, but it's something that holds you hostage to a false story that you then confuse for reality. So what's needed with this energy is to recognize the original wound that is playing out in your life so that you can bring awareness to it and heal it. And with this card, it does feel like that past wound or that original wound is something from a past life or that was passed down generationally, karmically, or from your ancestors. So what is the source of your limitations? Has your family lived with a mindset of scarcity? Were you a slave or a master in a past life? Were you someone who was held down and repressed, or someone who repressed another? Or did you inherit genes for a particular kind of disease or sickness? So once you see and untangle whatever this karma is or this pattern, then you can kind of release it, but it sort of asks to be honored, forgiven, and then you can craft a new life path forwards for yourself. But this also does talk about needing to act with intention so that you don't, like with clear and clean and good intention, so that you don't perpetuate a debt or a karma that someone will have to pay, whether that is you or someone that comes after you. I feel like you have the ability to clean something up here. You are maybe the one in your family that came to break some sort of pattern or bond or karma that's been passed down that no one else has really challenged. So yeah, it's definitely makes sense that that would be something that is clouding your vision, because that is literally what the meaning of that card is. So let's see. Can you tell me more about the curse and exactly, maybe more specifically, the fear, belief, or emotion that is tied? It might be quite different for all of you. They're telling me to get a couple cards to see if I can lean into maybe a few different paths that could be relevant for you guys for. So just give me a second. I'll pull maybe 3 different cards to see. Maybe I'll get 1 fear, 1 belief, and 1 emotion that could be making your path feel unclear. So what fear could be at play here? And they don't need to all resonate with you, but maybe 1 or a few of them could resonate with you. And if your specific fear, belief, or emotion falls outside of what comes out here as well, that's okay. It still is relevant to the energy of the curse. So what fear could be connected to this for some of my collective? The Star in reverse, the fear of never healing something, of never breaking away from something that has been an open wound for a long time. What belief could be making the path feel unclear? The 9 of Swords in reverse, that you already have all the clarity that you need. So not recognizing the clarity, or potentially confusing a lack of anxiety for clarity. Some of you are also confusing anxiety for intuition. So anything that leaves you with more discomfort or more questions than you had before, anything that further confuses you, anything that sends you into a spiral of rumination, anything that is not just like a quiet, clear, defined whisper, an answer that brings you peace, is not your intuition. Okay, that's the difference between rumination and intuition, or the mind and your true inner voice that speaks to you. So what emotion? Okay. The King of Cups in reverse. Wow. So that is just a hell of a lot of repressed emotion that wants to spill out overall. So, all right. Yeah, this is telling me a lot. There's a wound that wants to be healed here. It's very, very prevalent in all of these cards, really. Inside wants out. There's something inside that wants out, and it might feel quite uncomfortable for some of you because you have held something in. You either haven't spoken it, you haven't emoted it, you have not expressed it in some sort of way, and it's highly emotional. And so it's like having all of this swimming around inside of you and not having a release or an outlet for it has been making the path feel unclear for some of you. Because it's like you can't see through the haziness of all of these feelings that have been inside, that have been very contained. And there's a time and place for, being very self-regulated and containing all of your feelings. That's not always a bad thing, but there is something here that wants to be perceived so that it can be healed. Because there's this fear that something will never be released, will never be let go, will never be exposed for what it is or healed. And that this uncertainty will always be there. So what truth lies beneath the fog? What truth lies beneath the fog? You've got the Winter card here. The Winter card. Okay. So this isn't really meant to be a time that feels super comfortable, or clear necessarily, even though we are trying to bring a bit of light and clarity to things. It's also not necessarily the time where there's going to be a ton of that available. Like there will only be so much of that available, and that is the way that it's meant to be. So don't worry about that too much, because when you think about winter, what do you think about? You think about things going into hibernation, animals going into hibernation. You think about plants going underground before they bloom again in the spring. So the winter is a time of solace, yes, but it is also like a pause and a bit of a hermit season. So there's still activity within dormancy. But in alchemy, winter comes first of all of the seasons. It's the very beginning. It represents the origin. And it represents stillness and turning inward. So very much that hermit, Virgo type of energy. The journey is inwards. The mind and the heart settle into a darker season. And from that place of quiet, you are reconnected to the deeper things within you, the mystery of your existence, the miracle of what you hold within, your body, your breath. So it is about suspension. It's not the time for doing, going, getting, or even, completely knowing. It is about a portal to the divine that is open, magic that is working under the surface, and not getting caught up in isolation or broodiness or gloom, but understanding that you can move towards the sacred light within, and spring will be here soon. This is just a season. Winter is also ruled by the element of water and cardinal, north, the direction of north, which is cardinal. So again, I do feel like there is quite a bit of emotion. And it's kind of the energy, the pause between the inhale and the exhale. It's like everything has been released from the exhale, but you haven't drawn in that new breath yet. There's a sacred pause. So the truth beneath the fog is that the unknown and the unknowable right now is also a gift in some way. Can you tell me more about maybe a deeper intuitive truth or soul message that wants to come through for my collective surrounding this? But yeah, Spirit is basically saying there is a lot that is unknown, and it's meant to be that way, but you're also meant to know. Yeah, see, there's a pause, there's a suspension. The Two of Pentacles is things kind of being up in the air a little bit. Things that cannot be known, decisions that cannot be made just yet, because there's truth that you don't have just yet, because there is something that is very much growing. So at the bottom of the deck, you have the Ace of Swords in reverse. That's that truth that's kind of being hidden or suspended right now. And then underneath that is the Page of Pentacles, and then the King of Pentacles. So here I feel like is the seed that's under the ground, and as the magic and the growth hits that you may not be seeing, this page is evolving into a King of Pentacles. It's almost like this truth isn't available yet because you are in a state of flux. So the truth is available, but it's in a constant state of change. It's in motion because you are in motion. You are evolving right now into something greater, it feels like, with this Page of Pentacles and King of Pentacles. I think you're tempering or balancing out something that has not been reconciled within you, and it's heavy. It feels heavy. So yeah, there is a lack of truth. It's there, but it's like, it's how I feel when the energy, so sometimes I don't read or I don't channel, and it's because when I tap into the energy, I feel like it is like a tornado, a cyclone. It's moving very, very fast, and it's hard to pin down. It's not that there isn't truth there available, but it's almost like, what is the point of tapping into it or getting attached to that truth when it's shifting so rapidly, and I know that it's going to continue to do so. So I usually just leave it, and I'll feel when it makes more sense to try to tune into something that is a little more concrete. So that's what this feels like now. It's almost giving, yeah, the energy of the Hanged Man mixed with the Hermit. And the Hanged Man is Neptune, so that's quite interesting as well. It is that sort of foggy, murky, dreamy, in-between kind of energy. And the only way to really gain that knowledge, or to play the game, so to speak, is to not play, to just rest, to allow it to reveal itself to you as it blossoms and blooms. So what step can you take right now that is one aligned action, no matter how small, that can help you move forwards, even though you are feeling uncertain. All right, so we've got the giveaway. The giveaway. It's interesting. Both of these cards are number 5. You have number 14 and 23. So they both come down to being a 5. Okay. Well, the giveaway is about the gift that you offer to life without attachment, like without expecting anything in return. And you can only give what is truly yours. So it's about giving mostly what you hold within yourself. A smile, encouragement, a gentle or reassuring touch, a kind word, love, holding space for someone who is struggling as you are struggling to see the truth. It's not about giving something to others because you're done with it, you no longer want it, like those jeans that ripped in the butt or that sweater that doesn't fit just right anymore. It is actually about gifting what is most precious, your most authentic love and genuine feelings. So this is kind of about opening up when you least feel, when it's hardest for you to actually see what you have to give inside. Spirit is basically saying now it is the time to open up and give that. Maybe that's part of the process of what you truly have to share being revealed to you. It's like you kind of have to fuck around and find out here. You're being asked to open up and share that. And it really helps, like tapping into this energy becomes a lot easier when you're focused on gratitude, an energy or an attitude of gratitude. So it helps to maybe make a gratitude list. Like you can list 10 different people or things that you're grateful for and why. You can just meditate and ask to be connected to the feeling of gratitude. But this is about feeling the same gratitude without needing anything or anyone to inspire it, even though you do have things that inspire it. Knowing that you can be grateful even in the dead of winter, even when you feel underneath weight, that all those things to be grateful for still exist, and they actually exist within you, and you don't need anything external to give them to you. And that is what is most powerful for you to open up and share, because it's infinite, which is beautiful. So as you offer thanks in gratitude, your heart just cracks open more and more, and you start realizing how much life has actually given you. You start healing feelings of scarcity, and you open yourself more to the abundance that you are realizing already surrounds you. And then you kind of slip into an abundant flow of life as you give and receive freely. Some of you do need to just have healthy boundaries though, like set limits on how much of yourself you give so that you're still giving in a healthy way. Because again, remember, you can't give what you don't have. So you have to fill yourself up as well. And also notice if you're giving for any reason other than just being generous. Like, are you people pleasing? Are you trying to be liked or accepted? Are you hoping to heal an old wound by filling a void somehow, by giving something? So if that's the case and you are giving out of pure generosity or out of another reason outside of pure generosity, then I feel like the first step would be to start giving to yourself first and foremost, and offer yourself the care, love, time, attention, and acceptance that you're longing for. And then once you are experiencing that, then start pouring it out to other people. So is there anything that wants to be further spoken on there? What step they can take with this giveaway energy here? Or is that about it? That feels pretty clear. Yeah, so let's move on to the support that you may not be seeing here. The unseen help, inner strength, or guidance that's available to you. Okay, so Spirit's got jokes. Spirit has got jokes. since we're literally talking about the way forward being foggy as hell, and Spirit's like, the support you're not seeing is the fog. Okay. You see what I'm working with on a daily basis here, people? This is how Spirit talks to me. They're like, let me solve a riddle with a riddle or a joke. I love that for us. But okay, let me tune into this. It's kind of what I was saying, though. It's like the unknowable and the unknown is a gift. The fog is the support. It's almost like the curse is the support. The fog is the support. The winter, the stasis, the pause is the support. The thing that is frustrating you and clouding your vision is actually what is helping and strengthening and guiding you. So this is very much about shifting the perception about the fog, because it feels like the fog very much is playing a part here, and you're in it for a reason. It's not something that is meant to actually be like eradicated or fought or resisted, even though it does feel uncomfortable and disorienting, because the fog, it just represents a lull, a cooling of the mind, but it can be taken as like, I'm in a funk, right? Because nothing is clear when the fog is present. Not even the problem. It's like, it's hard to orient yourself or know where you're headed because nothing is distinct. Everything is kind of just blending in to everything else. But there's a pleasant element to the fog. It's like, again, it cools the mind. It counters drama. It can kind of lull you into a cool, natural balm for pain and trauma, actually. Although this state can't be sustained, like we're not meant to stay in it, because then that would be escapism, that would be numbness, ambivalence maybe. You do need to eventually see the horizon and your own surroundings. So there are two different solutions to this state. Although I don't know if you're necessarily meant to seek a solution to this, because this is the gift or the support. But the first solution is just time, right? Just giving it time. The morning fog will be gone by noon, and then you'll see the sun again. The fog, much like the winter, is a phase. It's a season. It's just a chunk of time that you will move through. It's not something that will last or be sustained. But the other solution is heat. So it's applying desire, passion, creativity. It's directly confronting the fog and kind of trying to, I'm seeing it like smoking something out. Smoking it out. Let's see. It's interesting. Smoke and fog are not the same thing. So it's interesting that smoke is coming up. But can you clarify how fog is actually supporting the collective at this time, Spirit? Let's see. Anything else they need to know about that? The Queen of Wands. It's actually meant to build your confidence and show you how truly connected you are to life force energy, to source, and to your own spirit. But again, you kind of are meant to go within to reconnect with that and realize that you are connected to source, to truth, capital T, and to spirit, even when you do not see the truth. Even if that truth is underground and magic is being worked on it, even if that truth has been repressed, you still hold divine truth and divine love. So you can still have that confidence even in the lack of knowing, right? Even in that space where you cannot actually pinpoint the truth or express it or share it or be what's the word I'm trying to think of here? Satiated by it, made comfortable by having the knowledge of the truth, having the answer. The truth is here that you don't need it to feel confident, to feel grateful, to feel abundant, to feel connected. You don't need it. And I think that that's what this time is actually meant to realize, so that you can be strong in the energy that you know that you hold within yourself, even when your external reality is a little bit blurry. So you got the Hierophant in reverse and the Five of Cups in reverse here. This is Taurian energy. So you have Scorpio and Taurus as well as Aquarius here on the table strongly. So you have the Taurus and Scorpio axis, which is interesting. You could have those in your chart, but you don't need to. The Hierophant in reverse, you're breaking down an old way of thinking. It could be a very traditional way of thinking. Again, with the Hierophant and the curse, it's making me think that this is something ancestral or generational. It's something that is like, this is how we do it. This is the way. There is no other way, you know, or this is how we think. This is how we perceive things. This is what family is. This is how you act. This is how life is, etc., etc. But it's limiting. And it's actually caused grief and pain that you're meant to break away from with this Five of Cups in reverse. That's what the fog is giving you an opportunity to do. To break away from some sort of grief that has actually been caused by something that's been passed down, and you're meant to break out of it. But in order to break out of this structure that is quite well rooted in, you know, the Hierophant is something that's been there for a while. Again, it's like the ancient ruins of the Acropolis in Greece. It's like, it's been there and it's still there. It's seen some shit and it's still holding its ground. It's still holding its structure, right? But there is something that wants to be restructured, torn down, certain wisdom from it extracted, but then you add your own twist to it, or you just take what works for you and you move forwards, grateful for what that has given you that you still want to use, or what it's given you that has connected you to your spirit thus far, but then also understanding that you've outgrown something. And I think in this foggy, wintry sort of state, as you go within and you reconnect to what you are very grateful for, the things that you have outgrown are going to become more and more clear. And you'll know, I think, what you need to break away from and what the choices are that are going to help you do that. But again, you can't rush this. So it's more about bearing witness to what is going on in this kind of stasis state, but also understanding this is meant to be a period of solace. It's not meant to be a period of anxiety and feeling like you're stuck in a rut or you're running out of time, because you're not. So is there anything else that my collective needs to know before I let them go? I hope this was helpful, though. Gave you some clarity. Yeah, no, that's it. There will be forward movement into justice and happiness. There will be forward movement, the Chariot, into justice and wish fulfillment or happiness with the Nine of Cups. There will. In perfect time, in perfect comfort and alignment, as all things are. So don't worry, okay? Be grateful for what this period of time is drawing your awareness to, because it's something powerful that's been within you. It could even be something that's been dormant within you. Some of you, as you travel inwards, what is being revealed is there are some gifts. There's some knowledge that you have that is outside of the box of what you've been taught, or what you've been taught is acceptable and what is not. You're breaking some boundaries. You are maybe breaking some people-pleasing tendencies, or you're breaking something generational that doesn't actually allow you to leap out into the direction that you want to go. It doesn't allow you to feel free and abundant. It keeps you quite stuck in a heavy space in your mind, which then also doesn't allow you to give and receive freely and equally with reciprocity. It doesn't really allow you to believe that the success that you want and the recognition that you personally are looking for is available. So there's something here where you're reconfiguring that, you're breaking out of that through just bearing witness to it, bringing consciousness to it. And you're going to be able to move forwards with this beautiful cardinal. And it's interesting because the Chariot is Cancer, cardinal water. Winter is tied to what? Cardinal and water. So there's something very strong here. Cancer season could be very significant for you, or a Libra season, or even the period between those two. So yeah, take it how it resonates for you. But I see that this is a period of time that is kind of calibrating you in a mysterious, esoteric sort of way. You're breaking out of something and you're aligning with something that you're going to move towards with a certain fierceness and ferocity. And it's everything that is meant for you. It's going to make you incredibly happy, but it's almost as though this is a bit of a riddle. You're not meant to have the answers, but what you witness in this open space of being okay with not having the answers will show you everything that you need to know, to clarify what will truly fulfill you, what you're truly grateful for, what your spirit wants to move towards, and what is aligned and just for you, okay? And then what no longer is as well, what's no longer serving you. So this is also, I feel, a period of rest so that you can rest and then you'll have the energy to push forwards and sort of slingshot yourself into this reality or this truth that very much aligns with you and your soul. So that's what I see for you, my beautiful people. I hope you're doing so well today. I'm sending you lots and lots of love and affection, good vibes all around. And yeah, I'll talk to you again soon, okay? Mwah. Until then, bye.